On January 6, 2021, right-wing activists stormed the Capitol in an attempt to interrupt the certification of the 2020 presidential election, which Donald Trump lost to Joe Biden. Trump still falsely claims that he won that election, and when he took office again last year, he delivered on his campaign promise of sweeping pardons and commutations for nearly 1,600 people charged in that Capitol attack. Today, House Democrats releasing two new reports on Trump's pardons and holding an unofficial hearing on the riot. That's as a group of far-right protesters gather at the Capitol to cast the anniversary in a more positive light. Our Jay O'Brien joins me now from Capitol Hill. Jay, you were actually embedded with those protesters today. So what did you hear out there?
Yeah, and they're still on their way here to the Capitol, Kira. But what we've heard from them over the course of the day is largely what we've heard from the far right, if you will, for the last few months and years, trying to reframe the Capitol attack as a peaceful demonstration, despite the fact, of course, 140 Capitol police officers are believed to have been injured. There are defendants here who were charged with attacking police officers, with violence, breaking windows here at the U.S. Capitol, onwards and onwards, and those have now been pardoned. All 1,600 January 6 related defendants have been pardoned. And I've been talking to a number of Capitol police officers, for example, who were here that day on January 6th. One of them, Winston Panjan, who we interviewed for a special talking about the efforts 2 years ago during the 2024 election to rewrite the history of the Capitol attack, told me today he's saddened to see the narrative of the Capitol attack so twisted, and he's dismayed that rioters who attacked him and attacked a number of his colleagues were pardoned by President Trump. He blames President Trump directly for rewriting the history of the Capitol attack. I believe we have a little bit of what he told a Democratic panel today. Democrats are holding their own hearing, no Republicans in that room, about the Capitol attack 5 years later, focusing largely on those pardons from the president. Here's a little bit of what Winston Panjan said there.
It should go without saying, pardoning criminals who severely beat me and my fellow officers that day is completely unacceptable. We cannot accept violent felons being pardoned and released back into our neighborhoods without consequence. That is not justice.
That has been the argument that Democrats made over the course of this hearing and in a report that they authored, Kira, saying that it's not just a rewriting of the history to pardon those Capitol rioters, but it also makes, in their view, the American public less safe because you're putting people who in some cases were charged, in other cases convicted of violent crimes,